Hi everyone, welcome to today's session on API testing with JMeter. I'm Janesh from Pragmatic Test Labs. Today's session is focusing on REST API testing. Agenda for the day is building a test plan with the GET request initially. Then we will refactor the test plan, basically the JMX file, improve it for further refinement or further extension. We will be adding post and put also a delete request to the existing test plan after the refactoring. Also, we will add assertions to the test plan so that JMeter itself will do the validation for us while test is running. As time permits, we will move into data-driven testing. That means read the data from a CSV file. I have a test file already created. Throughout the session, I'll try to speak a little bit about few best practices and common mistakes done by beginners especially. So let's move into JMeter. I have already started JMeter. In this session, I assume that you have some basic knowledge about JMeter. That means you can install JMeter and thread group, add a request, add a listener and run it, configure it for a little bit like that. We'll be using publicly hosted API in this session. This site you can get from Postman. I have a shortened URL bit.ly/PTL contacts, this one, and it will direct to this one. Initial request will go into get contact. The method or the verb is get and the URL is this one, and we are using HTTP. The server name is there and contacts. So let's move into JMeter. We'll start adding a thread group, add thread group. Also you can use control or command 0 to add 1 to add the thread group. To request you can add 1. This will be used to create your GET request or the SOAP request. I'll say GET contact list. The method is GET and the server name is, IP address is given. You can set it here. Once it is done, you can get the port number. It is 3000 and the relative URL is this contacts. You can place it here. Port number is 3000. You can add a listener to view the result coming from the API. Save the test plan as a best practice. I usually save it into the test plans directory. Also, I have a best practice having prefix test plan REST. Example contents. If the extension is not listed, you select the .jmx or you give it explicitly here to save it. Click it and save it. Now it's done. You can select and right click and validate it, check whether it's working. You get a green signal. Doesn't mean that your response is correct. You need to go to response data and validate it. This is you are getting when you have 200 and OK. Okay, the data is there, and if you want to see the data in JSON format, you can select this drop down and select it. Select the JSON format and view the result in JSON format. I'll not go to that one because it has a lot of data, and so if you get it, duplicate of this one, duplicate, and you can create a new contact. This one you can refactor the code. I told you in the agenda that since I am using IP address and port number again and again, I can define it in the HTTP request default config element. Add config element HTTP request default. Since this is executed first, I place it in the top, and you can define the port here. Again, it's a good idea to define the variables in user defined variables. This is the new one. I think it's giving problem. We'll not look into this now. User defined variable, and click add button and define the variable. This is a best practice. Yeah, you can define your variables here. I'll cut it, host, and the port number. Now you can enable this Control T. Instead of port number, I will use it here. Even in the default, if you define it host here, host, and the port number here, the values defined in the default will be taken into these subsequent HTTP request. To create a new contact, if I go to the API documentation again, add contact, this time the request is post, method is post, and the URL is more or less same. I set the method to post, and in the body data you define the JSON content. I can customize this little bit. Maybe I put Janesh, Kolikara, test labs. Likewise, you can give the DM. And let's run and see the effect. I will just validate just with one record. Create a new contact. This gives an error, and is mainly because I have not put the header detail. If I go to add contact, in addition to the data content, it needs header, content type, application, JSON. I go to test plan, select the test plan, add config element, add the header manager, place it here, and click add button, place the content type, the value is application data. You need to always refer to the API documentation and get the values. Now if I run it again, Control E to clean the result and Control R to run it. Now you can see get a successful, and if I go to response data tab and see the JSON format, you can see a new contact is created with this unique ID, right? Now next is I need to get this ID, extract the ID. So how to do that? So if I go to JSON Path Tester, if you read the access and underscore dot underscore id and click test, you will get the value. So if I go to the HTTP request and add host processor, these controls are executed after receiving the response. To extract the JSON, I will use JSON extract. Also, you can use this one, but in this simple one, both works similar and efficiently. Name of the variable, I will give contact ID. Also, if it is not there, I will put not found as best practice. JSON path expression is dot underscore id. So since there is only one, I'll put this one. Also in the JSON path extract, I will name it as this one. Now the variable or the value of the ID is extracted from JSON extractor. To view the value, I will use the sampler, debug sampler. This is useful. Drag and place it here to view the JMeter variable, system variables and properties. Let's run it again. Control E to clean, Control R to run it. You can see that the new ID is extracted here. Now I need to get the contact, the one that I created. I can retrieve the data using the get method. So if I go here, duplicate this one, control or rather right click and duplicate, or control shift C you can use, drag and drop here. Now I don't need the debug sampler, control T to disable it, control T to enable it, and get the new contact details. I get, and here I need to pass the ID as you have seen in the contact underscore ID. Now if I run the test again, control E, control R, you can see I get the new contact again. Here I can verify my details, like I can add assertion, JSON assertion. You can give the access to text dot first name. If I want to verify this one, additionally assert the value. Also you can give regular expressions. Now this time I am hard coding it to value Janesh. Likewise you can repeat it, control shift C, duplicate, also with the last name. I will rename the assertions as well. First name and last name. This one will help you to verify the data in the response. Next we'll go to the API documentation again. We need to update, next request is to update the contact details. So you have a put method to update the request, update the contact details. The URL is more or less same like getting the contact details. You need to pass the variable or rather ID value. Also you need to pass the new contact details in a JSON format. Let's go to update and we'll get a duplicate of this one, control C and pass it here, drag and drop here, control T to enable it. update the contact. This time method is put instead of also you need to pass the ID that you have extracted from the previous request, contact ID. In the body data, you need to pass the new contact details. This time, I'll paste it, change the new company name to Pragmatic Labs. Control S to save it, Control E to clean it, Control R to run it. So if I go to the next contact and change the value to text here, the response you do not get any response, but the header 204 with no content. To verify the content, I will use this get new contact detail request again, Control Shift C to duplicate it, get the updated contact details. Since I did not do any changes to the first name and last name, it should be same. In case of, let me take a duplicate of again, the company, verify the company. Company should be Pragmatic Labs. So let's run and see again. Control S to save, Control E to run. Clean it everything, Control R to run. So you get the details, the response. If you see the JSON format, you can see that updated value here. Now let's move to the final one. It's to delete it. I will get a duplicate of this, Control Shift C and drag and drop. As you can see in the API documentation, go to delete, it's delete, method is delete, and you need to pass the ID in this case as well. Now view in the delete, change the method to delete /$ contact _ ID. Once let's enable is Control T, Control E and Control R. You get it deleted. In the response you do not get anything, but in the response header you can see you get 204 and no content. We can verify them as in assertion. Right click, add assertion, response code to 204, change it to response code and click add here and 204. Also you can name it to response code. Similarly, you can verify the response message as well. Click the response message. You can do no content. Control C, change it here. Control E, Control R and run it, and you can see it's working. Now let's see how to make it data driven. I have limited time, So I'll get a duplicate of this one, this thread group, entire thread group, Control C, with data driven testing. To make it data driven testing, I need to add a CSV config element, CSV dataset config element. I'll paste it in the top. I have test file already created with this data. Contact detail, first name, last name, company name, and new company. Likewise, I have data. If I go to dataset config element, I can click on the browse and usually save the test data inside the test data folder. This is the file I created, and click open. If you have defined the variable names in the first row, you do not have to define them here, and you can use them in your test plan. So if I go to this one, create new contact, I can get the dollar first name, first name, dollar last name, and also the company, dollar company. And JMeter is curse sensitive, also variables are case sensitive. Ensure that you name them properly. In the extracted ID is fine, and when you come to get contact first name, also this has to be a variable, $, first name, dollar, within the curly braces you have defined last name. When it comes to update, again dollar first name, dollar last name, and this one is new company, new underscore company. Now in the next one, also you need to check this dollar first name, dollar last name, and dollar new underscore company. This case sensitive, you have to be very careful. It's done, and to validate it, run only this thread group. You just select the thread group and say validate and see the result. And this time it will run only for one thread group, one user. You don't see anything. Let's see. Let's Control T and run it. One thread is running, and you can see one is created. So let's make it 6 times. How it works? We had just 3 records in the CSV file, but end of the file it will recycle it. So let's run and see again. Control E to clean it, Control R to run it. You can see a few more requests are created when you create the new contact. In the request, you can see Chandika, the second record is created, and create new contact. Naveen, Priyanka, like in this one. Likewise, you can do the data-driven testing as well. So I have very limited time with Zoom with just 40 minutes. We have just 5 minutes for answering any questions if you have any questions. By the way, thanks for joining. It's late and hope you enjoyed and learned something.
I have one question. So in the JSON response, you might get sometime like true or false. So means if you're requesting something, it is available, it will say true, otherwise it will say false. So how we can put an assertion for both the values? Either means it's a correct response, it can be true or false. So is it possible to do this, both the assertion in the same, using the same assertion?
You means like you cannot predict the response, right? In advance.
No, means it like when I'm using dynamic data and I pass a search element like name. So the response will come like true, name exists, or false, name does not exist. Means the API is working correctly, data is coming correctly, but the response is changing in that case, true or false, based on the data I'm passing.
Okay. Basically, you know the input data and you know the expected result as well in advance, right?
Yes. Not on all the cases, but when we have a large data set like thousands of search terms, then it's not possible to find it.
If you know the what do you call the expected outcome, then you can include the output as well in the CSV file, and you can verify them there in the assertion, right? Include in the variable. That can be done. If you don't know, then you have to, I think, based on the condition, maybe you can have a logical operator like if conditions, and then you can based on the value, then you can do the assertions, right?
Okay.
If you know the expected outcome in advance, you can include them in the CSV file and do the assertions. But in your case, if you cannot predict, then you can have to have logical operators, right?
Okay, yeah. I did not try that yet, logical operator, but yeah. I can try that.
Okay, thanks for the question. Good one. Yeah. Any other questions? We have a few minutes left.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know I want to grab the in the results one ID from the REST service, and I want to insert that ID to next request.
Yeah, this is something that we have done. Okay. The contact ID. So we are getting the when you create a new contact, we are getting a dynamic ID, right? You may be referring to something like your token, like that, right? If it is in the JSON format, you can use the JSON extractor to extract the ID, and this is available as a variable. So in the subsequent request, you can include them in this format, like $, like we have mentioned place here. In this way, you can do. JSON extractor can be used for JSON responses, but in case of other response format, say in the SOAP or any other HTML format, you can use some other post processors available, like you can see various post processors available. Boundary extractor, regular expression extractor. But when it comes to JSON, this is the best one. These two are the best one suited for the data. Hope I answered your question, Archana.
Yes, Ganesh, thank you.
Also, you can reach me through my email if there is any questions offline if this session conclude automatically. Hello, yeah, you can ask.
Does JMeter have some HTML reports for the API testing?
Not specifically for APIs, but it has got some, like you can generate the HTML report. You can go tools menu and generate HTML report. For that, you need to save the test results into CSCO and JTL format, right? Right? Then you can generate the report. Not for specifically for API, but it has for what you call temporary report.
Thank you, Dhan.
Okay, Prakash. Any other questions? Hello?
Yeah, I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, Sim. Okay. Okay, everybody. Thanks for joining this session. And this session was initiated through our Facebook group, JMeter group, based on the request from the members. Hopefully, we will continue these sessions. Also, I would like to invite the other expert in the community to join with me and share the knowledge with the team. Hope you like the session. Thanks for joining and have a good night.